A loan blocked against a former club, $15 million turned down by Premier League rivals, and an Aston Villa player publicly defending a manager on the brink. While the Blades sit rock bottom, 3 moves could completely change the course of the season. Stick around until the end, because I'm about to reveal 3 twists nobody's talking about. Subscribe and smash the like button now! Let me start with the story that's making every Sheffield United fan's blood boil. A certain Irish winger who arrived on loan as the fantastic summer signing cannot play against Ipswich Town. And do you know why? Because there's a clause in his deal stopping him from facing his old club. And I've got to ask you, how on earth does a club desperate for results accept a clause like this? To me, it reeks of a trap set by Ipswich Town. They loaned him out knowing full well they'd be facing the Blades early in the season, Sheffield. United have only scored 1 goal in 4 championship matches. The attack is lifeless, toothless, lacking any spark. And just when they need every reinforcement available, the winger who was brought in to fix exactly that is sidelined because of a clause the board signed off without blinking. Former managers have already described him as fantastic. It made it clear he wanted out of Ipswich for more game time. And now Ruben Celes has to improvise with the youngsters out wide when the side already can't finish even the clearest of chances. I tell you this, agreeing to that clause could end up costing Celes his job. The Spaniard is hanging by a thread. After 4 straight defeats and dropping points against a direct rival because of such poor negotiation, could be the final straw. And speaking of board decisions, let's talk about one that might have just saved United's season. West Ham United and Everton, yes, 2 Premier League clubs, put in multi-million-pound bids for Michael Cooper, and Sheffield United told them to jog on. The burning question was turning down $15 million genius or madness. I say it was the smartest decision this board has made in years. Cooper, just 25, kept clean sheets in 23 of 46 matches last season, exactly half the campaign. He gave Sheffield United the 3rd best defense in the championship. And do you think finding a replacement of that caliber would be easy? Not a chance. The Blades paid only $2 million for him, and now Premier League clubs were willing to pay $15 million. That's a 650% increase in value. But I'll tell you, his worth on the pitch is far greater than any check. This season, Cooper's already had to pull off 5 big saves in each of the last 2 games. Narrow 1-0 defeats to Millwall and Middlesbrough could have been absolute batterings if not for the English keeper's quality. Imagine if Cooper had been sold and United were shipping 3 or 4 goals per match with a backup between the sticks. Celes would have been out of the door weeks ago. Keeping him could be the difference between a survival fight and total disaster. And here comes the most surprising story of all. A young winger on loan from Aston Villa has publicly defended Ruben Celes in an exclusive interview that's got everyone talking. But I ask you this, why would a young player risk his reputation to defend a manager being slated left and right? I believe he knows something we don't. He worked under Celes at Hull City last season and helped the Tigers stay in the championship. The 22-year-old said word for word, Ruben is an incredible human being. He's got so much knowledge and challenges you in different ways. But what really caught the eye was when he revealed Celes' methods. The pressure is always different. Whether it's high, low, or medium, I'm always learning from Ruben. Once you get used to it, it works. I know because I've been through it. Did you know Jurgen Klopp once called him a Lil Jamie Vardy? And that he was the first English player to go through La Masia, Barcelona's academy? This isn't just any young lad talking. This is a talent recognized worldwide. He added something that should really make every fan think, Celes is demanding, but that's good. When you hear him shouting, you forget you're tired. You just want to get into position. He also revealed Celes has worked in Russia, Azerbaijan, and Greece before arriving in England. In other words, the man's got international experience most championship managers can only dream of. So, is he right? Are we being too quick to judge? Does Celes just need more time for his methods to sink in? Or is the lad simply being loyal to the man who gave him a chance? Now let's put the pieces of his puzzle together. First, the winger being ruled out against Ipswich might be a setback, but it also shows United are signing players other clubs actually want back. A clear sign of quality. Second, keeping. Cooper was crucial. With a solid defense, Celes has a base to build on. If the attack clicks, the Blades can climb out of danger quickly. Third, that player's testimony isn't just loyalty, it's insight from experience. He knows how Celes works and insists the methods deliver once the team adapts. So, are we witnessing the start of United's recovery? Are these three situations signs the tide is turning? I believe so, but only time will tell if I'm right. Now, I want to hear from you about the first story. Was it a mistake for Sheffield United to accept a clause stopping their winger from facing Ipswich? Or does his quality outweigh that one-off limitation? Drop it in the comments. On the second story, were the board right to reject $15 million for Michael Cooper, or should they have cashed in and reinvested elsewhere? What would you have done as a director? And on the third, the most controversial one, do you believe that winger's words about Ruben Celes? Does the manager truly deserve more time, or is the player just being diplomatic? Let me know down below. Finally, putting it all together, do these three situations show us Sheffield United getting its act together behind the scenes, or are they just coincidences that might not solve the issues on the pitch? I want every Blade's opinion in the comments. If you've made it this far, it proves you live and breathe Sheffield United. And that's exactly why I invite you to become part of this family of passionate supporters. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and hit that like button. It makes all the difference. Here you'll always get the deepest analysis, the most exclusive inside stories, and the liveliest debates about everything Sheffield United. Don't miss a thing, because every detail could be crucial to understanding the club's future. There'll be more breaking news about the Blades tomorrow, so stay tuned. Until next time, and let's hope Bramall Lane roars again soon.